So I used to go to the salon and just get like coating, but then during COVID we started using basically black box dye. Since
you went to salon and got what?
Like it's called coating. It's not quite hair dye. It's like Korean coating, like maybe a little less harsh. That's what they call it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I've been doing box dye since like 2020.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Would you put it all over or just at the root?
Depends. My husband and I would share a box. So, so sometimes he'll just do the roots and sometimes he'll do it like all over.
Okay.
These are the ones that I liked.
Okay.
But I know you said that's probably too light.
Yeah. Did you have any alternatives, tones that you'd be okay with?
Just whatever you think you can do.
Okay, you just want to be lighter in general.
Because eventually I want to get to a place where I can blend the grays.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll try and get you as light as possible. Let me show you an example of maybe what this person had similar to what you have right now. But I will say she had a lot more natural, like white gray than you from her roots, and that's what kind of made it get a little bit lighter because you're not as like silvery naturally. It might be a little more harder because you have a lot more dark still. Yeah, and especially if you like layered the box dye, it might be a little bit more difficult. But as far as the placement, do you like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we'll go for that. I try to go for more of a solid front because these front hairs are a little bit more stubborn and they're more fragile, so we have to be a little more careful.
Okay.
So after today, they tend to just not lighten as light. They do stay kind of warm after today. But then after, when you come in next time, if you take care of your hair and we can relighten them, we'll get a little bit more even. Because back here we hit it again, but those pieces can't really take it that much. So I just try to do it slowly and so that your hair doesn't feel too like dry after. But it will still feel dry after, so you're gonna have to take care of it with like products at home, like using a good bonding shampoo, and then just like leave-in products, like leave-in conditioner, heat protectant, and a mask. And it takes about like a month or two for your hair to get back to normal. Are we doing a haircut too?
Yes.
Okay, how much are we cutting?
Whatever you think, maybe a couple inches.
Like here?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. You like long layers, face frame? Okay. Anything else?
Whatever haircut you can do. I'm starting to thin in the front.
You always part it there?
Yeah.
Okay. You never part in the middle? It looks like your hair just grows there, actually.
Because I always part it that way.
Really?
It's been years, yeah.
You blow dry it that way? Is that way? Okay. Any questions or you're good?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. So this week I have a client who this was her first time with me, and honestly this video was actually filmed a while ago. I just never got around to filming it, but now I thought would be a great time to talk about her hair transformation because she's got some old box dye on her hair. The ends look extremely dark to me compared to the top. You can see maybe about 4 inches from her virgin root. It actually looks a little bit lighter, and then the ends actually look darker. So it tells me that there's different types of color on her hair, and she is just looking for something that is going to blend and grow out soft and just stop giving her that harsh line of demarcation. Now, due to her color history, I wasn't really sure how light her hair was going to be able to get. Now with box dye, whenever a client texts me for an appointment, I am just really honest with them and letting them know that the lightest that their hair might get to is probably a warm medium brown, and then I usually can show them photos of other clients' journeys that are similar. And in our consultation, I did bring up the fact that I showed her a picture of a client that had similar situation as her regarding color history. The only difference is that client that I showed her did have a little bit more gray. So sometimes when a client naturally has more natural gray naturally, like that means more salt than pepper, it is a little bit easier to lighten the hair. But this particular client didn't have too much silver, I would say. She definitely had more pepper than salt. So this was going to be a little bit tricky. Now her hair is in really great condition, so we are going to be lightening it as normal as I would with anybody else. So if any of you guys are listening that are new, I always start in the back and I do some detail foils around the hairline and then pretty much take this back section as a mohawk section and take this all the way up towards the top wherever they part their hair. I will adjust it if they do a side part, which she does. And then I connect the front and the sides just in one section. So there's really primarily 3 large sections in this type of placement, and I will generally do this on everybody because you can customize it by the way that you space out your foils, how you weave, how you tease, all of that, but taking the very same sections so that every time this guest comes in my chair, we are able to do their retouches really easily and then also prevent any overlapping that way too. Because I feel like if you don't do consistent pattern of weaving or sections of highlights and you tend to switch it up, I personally find it's very hard to either not overlap or not miss any spots, meaning leaving some random dark spots in between highlights. If you know, you know. If you're a hairdresser, you probably know what I'm talking about. That sometimes can be unavoidable, or you're trying not to overlap or whatnot, but I find that this just helps prevent it if you do the same sectioning for everyone, or at least on each client. So anyways, so I just love a mohawk section for that reason. It's very versatile in the sense that you can just customize it with however way you like. And then so here I'm doing the side money, and I personally like to make sure that I pick up all those little baby hairs around the hairline, especially when a client has dark hair. I don't know about you guys, but like me personally, I have a lot of baby hairs around my hairline, and it's not breakage, it's just genetic. I have always had baby hairs around my hairline, so because of that, if the person who does my hair doesn't highlight the baby hairs, I just feel like there's like a dark hole. And I know, unpopular opinion, that a lot of people feel like if you highlight the baby hairs, they look like breakage, but I feel like as long as you communicate with your client, like, hey, you know, you got some baby hairs here, I am going to be highlighting them. Please do not think they are breakage, and I just want some sort of connection, because I personally don't like when a hairline is broken up with random dark spots in the hair where the baby hairs are. So that's just a personal preference. So I always make sure that I grab them in my color. Everything looks cohesive, just, you know, meant, and it looks like it's done on purpose. But I do always make sure that I let them know, or yeah. I will say too though that after I do the money piece, I take a diagonal back and then take horizontal sections up the side to connect that front and back. And we are going to be doing some tip outs, so you can see as I'm doing tip outs, my assistant is separating the hair, so it's easy for me to grab. On the side, when we do the tip outs, I like to separate the hair and over direct it towards the front of the face, because every tip out I do like to over direct forward versus backwards, because I want it to look like it's lighter in the front and leaving more depth in the back. So I just find that gives it a more natural feel. And I also forgot to mention that I'm using the Danger Jones powder lightener, the one that has 9+ levels of lift, that is formulated with bonder and all that good stuff, to get this as light as possible. I'm using 1 developer for the whole thing, which is pretty much just 20 volume. And now, because her root is ready to be rinsed, you can see they reached about like a level 9. But as we pull these foils, you guys will see that some of those mids and ends really only lifted to like level 7, and some parts a level 8. And now, although I do have some like tips to kind of even that out, I was honestly feeling like her hair really couldn't handle too much today. So we went in with a toner, and her toner formulation is the Danger Jones Gloss Toners. We did 5-1 for her root all over. This is just gonna blend the line of demarcation at the highlights and the base and everything, because we did a lot of slices. And then we went in with some violet and silver. Now, after I went in with the violet and silver, I let it process for about like 10-15 minutes. There was still some warmth that I just didn't love, and I felt like could use some more neutralizing, so I did do an extra overlay of their gloss toners in 9-12 and 6-01. And now I don't do that for everybody, but I was trying to see if I could get away with pretty much getting her to a pretty tone without doing a demi and just doing the artistic toners. But as soon as we put it on, some areas were still definitely warmer than others, so I just ultimately decided to do a second tone overall.
Ooh. Feels good?
Yeah. I love it so much.
Yeah, it looks great. I'm glad we did the more violet because when it fades out, it'll complement your skin tone still. Yeah.
Alrighty, so here is the finished look. I feel like it came out so pretty and very dimensional, and honestly will blend really well with her gray pattern naturally because she doesn't have a lot of gray. But I love this blend that we did where the roots definitely look a lot more dimensional and the ends gradually get a little bit more lighter, as in like they have a little bit more color. I feel like that generally just looks prettier, so that when the roots grow in naturally, the roots naturally will look darker and the ends look lighter. And I feel like it kind of gives almost like a slight ombre type of effect, but that kind of look just generally looks aesthetically better. But overall, I know that this toner does fade out very, very fast, so I always say to maintain it with some purple shampoo. And then otherwise, if you're feeling like purple shampoo doesn't do enough, clients can definitely come in for a tone. But overall, that is it. Alrighty, that is it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in, and as always, I will talk to you guys next week.